Looks like something died on my wall. It's a dig, I swear. How you doing? Hello, so today and this week I'm going to tell you a bit about university here. It's finally been my first week of lectures. I am fortunate enough to only have 7.5 hours in university a week. That comes with being a student abroad. You only have to do half the modules because if you go to my university, you have to do a year abroad project. So good on that sense. I go to classes Monday to Wednesday, and then I have the rest of the week to explore the island, do my YARP obviously, and I'm doing it, and kind of experience the rest of the island. So what can I tell you about it? Basically, when you come here, you've got to be on the ball with enrolment. It's crazy. You will apply for your modules and come here in about May time, I think, May/end of April. And it's about 2 days when you have to write all these crazy things, like you have to write what modules you want to do, and that can be anything. You can choose anything you want to do. You can do Spanish, which is what I wanted to do, so I could practice while I was here. And then also I picked an elective in theatre, so like it could help my YARP. For anyone who is a bit confused about a YARP and it sounds like something from the Gap Year videos, YARP stands for Year Abroad Research Project. Unless you're still doing the proposal back in year 2, which is Year Abroad Research Proposal. So, if I talk about YARP, that's what I'm talking about. With the enrolment, you also have to write statements explaining why you want to come here. That can be anything from about 3 lines to like a paragraph, or like an essay if you want. And you literally just need to put things like, I want to improve my Portuguese, I want to come here so I can find out about the specific to your YARP subject. And just, it all has to be in Portuguese as well. I had to spend a first sunny afternoon in England we'd had in like 2 months, and I had to spend it inside doing this, and I was like, no, it had to be done. And also, one thing to check is when you're filling in the details for your for this online system, make sure your lecturers have spelt your name correct. Okay, Hannah got an offer to come here to begin with, but I was still waiting. I had to more or less force myself. I was a bit worried, like I wouldn't get in. So I obviously came here, and you have to make sure that your acceptance letter has the right name in correspondence with your passport number when you get here, because otherwise apparently the police, if they do ask for it, will go, nope, you can't have that. I was fortunate enough somehow to still get my visa and get, register my visa, and then also get my enrolment properly done, because obviously the lecturer understood that it wasn't the right name. Even in Portuguese, han, her does not make sense. So that's another thing to think about. When you get here, enrolment is a very extremely fun process. You go to orientation on the first Friday, and then you are given your individual, what they call matricula, which is kind of like an enrolment. You go there for like 20 minutes with your passport, your declaration letter, like your carta de aceite, which is like your acceptance letter, plus the original copy of your health insurance certificate. So if you buy your health insurance, well, you have to buy your health insurance before you've given your YARP, the proposal. So make sure you get a copy of that before you come out here, or if you have the computer document, make sure you have it all available so you can print it off when you get here. It is very important. You may think, oh, I've got my visa, that's enough. It's not. You need everything with you. So that's matricula. And again, and then it'll give you your timetable as well. Now, choosing modules is a bunch of fun. If you decide you want to do Spanish like me, well, you won't. I don't think you'll be able to. I haven't been able to. I'm enrolled here doing Español Letras, which is like Spanish literature essentially, but I wanted to do Spanish classes so I could keep my Spanish up, because I'm doing Spanish and Portuguese as a degree. And I've come here, and because they only offer things like Spanish 2 and Spanish 4, I don't have the prerequisites from Spanish 1 and Spanish 3, therefore I haven't been accepted onto any of the Spanish classes. So I'm doing a Spanish degree, however I am doing an improvisation theatre class, because I thought it'd be good to improve my vocab, and also I'm doing pesquisas na literatura extranjera, like research into foreign literature, because I thought, hey, hopefully it'll help my YARP. But they're the only 2 classes I'm doing, neither of which are really related to Spanish. When you come here, make sure you pick something that I think the whole idea of doing something that's academic is kind of lost for first semester. Just do something that you enjoy. I've got a friend who's doing anthropology and her degree is European studies. Yeah, so make sure I'd say when you first come here, just pick something that you think you'll enjoy that's totally irrelevant to your degree but you're interested in, you know, just so you can kind of have a couple of lessons in that for the first semester, because you won't get onto Spanish. You need to have the prerequisites. It's like doing linguistics in England. You have to have certain prerequisites to advance onto like Spanish or French linguistics. And also the reason why I only just started lessons this week was because I had a lot of fun with my timetable. I not only didn't get accepted onto the Spanish class, I also then found out that my theatre class had been cancelled because it was no longer being run. So I ended up without a timetable for the first week, which, okay, you might think, oh, the Hannah, you're just really lucky, that's nothing. But I kind of wanted to start getting into it because I then went to class, and obviously in the second week, and people already kind of knew like what was going on, and I had no idea. Like improv, for example, I had no idea that I had to be dressed in like really comfy clothes and like wouldn't need to dress up for it because it's all practical. And then also I had the fun. If you don't get into a class, by the end of the first week, you have to go register for your new class, and you go there and you have to fill in paperwork. You have to remember your declaração because they want to see things on that and what have you. So it's all a bunch of fun. My timetable finally got sorted out, and also with your timetable, it's totally different to what I'm used to, in that you look online and you've got like the hours of the day, and then you get allocated the hours or whatever of time, of class time, according to whenever. So like 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock you've got this class. From 11 o'clock to like 2 o'clock you've got another class. Although linguists don't have that long lessons. Anyway, but here you're given your acceptance letter, and it has the title of the class on one end, and then because obviously the Portuguese weekdays don't translate to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They go second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, Saturday, Sunday. So you'll find a little number, so obviously that translates to segunda-feira, terceira-feira, quarta-feira, whatever. And that'll be when you have your lesson, what day, and then they have the start time of the lesson, dash, and then how many hours you have of that lesson a day. So for example, my improv class I have on number 3, so terceira-feira, third day, sorry, and then I'll have, it starts at 6:30 in the evening for 4 hours, but it's not 4 hours, it's 3.5 because classes all finish at 10 o'clock at night. And then I've got my research class on segunda-feira, on the second day, so Monday, for 2 hours from 8:20 in the morning, so it'll be 8:20 AM -2. And then on quarta-feira, Wednesday, starting at 10 o'clock or something, for then -2 hours. So that's how it's done, and you have to figure out, and then it shows you, but then it does give you the building code. You have to remember the building code for your individual building. It's like campus, basically. It's like your campus building in the same way. Like, for example, mine is Centro de Comunicação e Expressão, Communications Expression Centre. So it'll say CCE, and then it has, straight away the room number, I believe. Yeah. So that's what you need to remember for when you're looking at your acceptance letter. I thought I didn't have it at first, as in I thought I'd have to go online, look for a timetable, but no, it's all on your acceptance letter once you get that done and signed. And you need to keep that with you. Don't throw it away, don't lose it, because if like the police want it for whatever reason, you need to be able to then present it later on. Not saying you have to carry it around, but just have it somewhere where you know what you can just easily get it. And then speaking of accessing stuff online, when you come here you'll have to create an ID for USC, the university, and you get to make up your own login, but from a specific thing, the way they've chosen it. They break down your name, and then you take 2 of the things that they give you, and you make your own login. And because and I basically, long story short, made mine into Saint Hannah because I thought that'd be hilarious. But once you've created this ID, you then don't get an email either, because I was really curious. I was like, how am I going to get emails from lecturers? I don't get what's going on. You don't get an email as a foreign student either, because you're not here for a long enough time. Some people are here for a semester, some people are here for a year, but they believe you're not here for a long enough time to warrant a university email, so you won't get that. But they do send it to your alternative email. So whatever that email you gave them, keep checking that, because that will also go to that's your logged on email. In terms of lessons, my biggest piece of advice to you is drop the expectations. It is nothing like an English lesson that I'm used to anyway. You basically can walk in and out of this class. I mean, you can in an English one, but it's so much more casual in a way. It's really funny. And then the lecturers kind of seem to make up the timetable as they go along as well. I mean, for example, it may say on my timetable that my class is supposed to start at 8:20 in the morning. However, I thought I was going to be late, like by about 10 minutes one morning. The lecturer and half the class then turned up 15 minutes after that. So not saying that you should turn up late to your lectures, but then don't expect people to be on time. Like, don't expect to be like, oh my gosh, like you'll like get punished for being late. Obviously we don't get detentions in uni as far as I know, but don't expect it to be quite as like, oh, where have you been 5 minutes? And also they will also pick their own end times as well. I mean, again, the lecturer decided we were going to finish 20 minutes early one morning, so yeah, take that as you will. It's good, but it's weird, and yeah. And the way people treat you in lectures, I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but being a girl, not only an English girl, but taller than most, and also with a funny hairstyle for a girl, and also a different dress, like, these are trousers, but a different style, like, to most girls anyway. I get stared at in England, but for someone who doesn't exactly act like someone who wants to fit in, I seem to get, like, I don't know what it is. We were already warned that girls wouldn't talk to us, okay? I don't know what it is. I think it's a whole, like, anyone who's seen those competitions, that whether that be more confident, prettier, like anything, like more intelligent, girls will automatically not hate you, but they avoid you, and they make it obvious in a way. And I found that quite true. I mean, again, like I listed all the things before, girls do act funny towards me. It's really weird. And obviously I was going in there being like, I just want to make friends, and this is going to be great, and I'm going to have to meet people. The guys were like, oh, okay, I'll talk to... And a couple of times I was like, I'm so thankful there are guys in this room right now, because they're making me feel welcome. But then the girls, I don't know, they were really funny towards me. I didn't feel very welcomed. It was literally just a case of, you're an acquaintance to me. And we were warned about this again. I think in general, people have the Chinese way of thinking. That's very stereotypical. But literally, what they do is, they stick to their close friends who they know already, wherever they've met them, outside of uni, whatever. And then anyone else who's inside that lesson is literally an acquaintance. They're not there to make friends, they're there to study. Which, hey, is perfectly reasonable. But being a foreigner, of course, when you're like, oh, I want to come and make new friends and meet people and blah, it's not easy to make friends in class. And I'm not saying I don't know what it is, I'm not sad, but then, again, I go back to my advice before, drop the expectations. Do not expect to make 10 friends on the first day. I'm sure at some point, I'll make 2 or 3 friends in my class, but just drop the expectations, seriously, drop them. Kill them stone dead. And also with timetable again, don't be surprised if you get a lesson that starts at 7:30 in the morning, or, like me, finishes at 10 o'clock at night. Night classes are totally normal here, and having very early classes are just as normal as well. So if you're not a 9 AM person, and you come here and you get 7:30, it's totally normal. I wouldn't get angry, I wouldn't be upset. because that is totally normal here. We also enrolled on to the university restaurant, as they call it, Restaurante Universitaria, or the HU as they call it, because it's RU. And when you enroll, you get a free mug with it, and I was way too excited about that. And you get your ID with it as well. And you then pay, instead of paying in the restaurant, you have to buy tickets in the admin office just outside, and then you can pay for like 5 to however many tickets you want, and you just present them when you go in the canteen. We haven't attempted it yet. That is what we will be attempting this week, because the queues have just been ridiculous. Like, it takes me 5 minutes to walk from my lectures to the canteen, and the queues were stretched back past my building. It was ridiculous. It's $150 reais per meal, so it's really good, like, money, worth your money. Does that make sense? Anyway, and the food is good. It's good, decent food. It's not like, you know, soggy, disgusting cabbage or anything like that. It's proper food, like feijoa and rice and fruit and everything. So I think that's all for now. I would say overall it's been a mental shock to the system, because I was expecting it to be more or less similar, but it's not. So if I think of anything else, I will add it in next week's video. Yeah, and don't let anything that I say put you off, but it's all new experience, and the whole general thing here is you don't get by having it all handed to you. You do have to go out and like ask questions. You do have to go and sort things out like an adult, basically. That's another thing that's quite common here, is the whole transition from child, young adult to adult is not there. That's another thing I'm going to leave on with. Extracurricular activities. They're nothing like our society clubs, in that you can go whenever you want during the term. You have to make sure you know the enrolment date for the extracurriculars, and then you have to apply online. And the horrible thing is that they only have 30 places per class or so, and so you have to make sure you're on the ball when you get there, like the first at the wink of dawn, is it? The break of dawn, something of dawn. You have to be the first crack of dawn. You have to make sure you are first in line to get these places. And you don't have to have a Brazilian bank account, but you do have to pay something from 100 to 150 reais per term, which is nothing, again. That's like, about £30 overall per semester. So, yeah, be careful about when, in terms of extracurriculars, if you really want to get onto something, you need to make sure you know the date when to apply for. I missed the day by a day, because they didn't give us any information, or like they didn't really tell us how to actually go about doing this until the day after, which sucks. So yeah, although you might think, oh, I have to pay this for extracurriculars, you'll probably pay more than that anyway back in England. Plus, it's the university itself is free. It's a federal university, so the government pays for your fees. So you aren't really paying anything for your education already. So good thumbs up for us, really. Anyway, I have no highlights for this week, because I've just been in classes and just getting used to that, really. We did go to the beach, and it was really awesome. We ended up swimming because it was so hot. It's still winter here, by the way. And then what was really cool was we saw whales. I think they were killer whales, if you really want to know. My whole family did ask me when I called them up to stay. And then just standard nature family. So it was really awesome. But I don't have any of the footage because my camera wouldn't zoom up close enough to them. There were also live penguins for the first time since I've been here. We keep seeing them rolling up on the shores dead, but we saw some swimming in a bay on Thursday, so it was really cool. But again, it's sad at the same time, because if they're swimming in warm waters, it means they're lost. So bittersweet, really. But hey, for all you animal lovers who are going, oh, poor penguins, they were happy swimming and having a bath and everything, so don't sweat it, it's fine. Yeah, anyway, I'm not leaving you with highlights, but I hope you have a wonderful week, and if you've got any questions, please leave comments. I'm more than open to answering your questions if you have any. Yeah,